So today we're going to have a look at portion guidance. So first of all, if we have a quick recap on the Eat Well guide. So the Eat Well guide includes the 5 main food groups. You've got your starchy carbohydrates, which make up one of the biggest food groups. You've got your fruits and vegetables, which make up the second largest food group. You've got your protein providers here, which includes your fish, meat, eggs, and pulses. Your fourth food group is your dairy, milk and dairy food group. And the smallest section is the oils and spreads, which is the fifth one. So within these food groups, we've got handy portion size guidance for each of these foods found in these food groups. So say, for example, within the starchy carbohydrate food group, one clenched fist, which is approximately 1 cupful measure, which is useful for estimating cooked rice, pasta, potato, and fruit. A palm-sized amount that you can see here on the right, in the photograph on the right, is useful for estimating red meat, fish, and chicken. On the next photo here, you've got a small handful, which is useful for estimating nuts and your dried fruit portion size. On this next picture, you've got your two good handfuls, which is useful for estimating your vegetable portion sizes. So here you've got your portion size for cheese. So two finger size amount is useful for estimating your cheese portion size. And here on the right hand side photo, you've got your tip of your thumb, which is useful for measuring out oils, margarine, butter, and mayonnaise. So why are carbohydrates important in diabetes? Well, the reason why carbohydrates are important in diabetes is the more carbohydrates you have, the higher your blood glucose levels will be. So within the carbohydrates, there's two main types. There's the starchy carbohydrates and the sugary carbohydrates. All of these foods break down to release glucose into the bloodstream. So to show how this works, okay, you've got your bread here, slices of bread here that all contain carbohydrate. The more bread that you have, the higher your blood glucose levels and your insulin requirement will be. So for example, the 3 slices of bread, your blood glucose levels will be higher here in comparison to whenever you have the 1 slice of bread or the 2 slices of bread. So to show how this works, we've got some breakfast options. So say, for example, you've got your 2 Weetabix that contain starchy carbohydrate, your milk, and your banana. This comes to a total of just over 50 grams of carbohydrate and just over 300 calories. But by adding in extra bread to this, it increases by adding in the 2 extra slices of bread, increases the carbohydrate value to just under 90 grams of carbohydrate and just over 500 calories. So you can see here by adding in the extra 2 slices of bread increases not only the carbohydrate content, but also the calorie content. And this meal would be too much carbohydrate for somebody with diabetes. So it's either having the Weetabix or the bread, but not both. Spaghetti bolognese, okay, so you've got your pasta portion there on the left, and then you've got your meat ragu added on there on top. So this meal comes to just over 120 grams of carbohydrate and 600 calories. So by making the adaptation where you're actually increasing your vegetable content and reducing your pasta portion size, it brings it down, it reduces the carbohydrate content and the calorie value content down to 78 grams of carbohydrate and 388 calories. So just in summary, to make it easier then, is to think about that, your healthy plate size. So half your plate to be from vegetables or salad vegetables, so to fill up on those foods that contain lots of vitamins and minerals and fiber to help fill you up for longer. Then you've got your other half of your plate halved again into 2 quarters. Quarter of that plate to be from your starchy carbohydrates, then the other quarter to be from your protein sources. So in summary, remember all carbohydrate containing drinks and food, for example, milk, fruit, non-diet drinks, pasta, potatoes, biscuits, sweets, and chocolate will all break down to release glucose into your bloodstream, some quicker and some slower than others. And more importantly, the amount that you have will have the greatest impact on your blood glucose levels. Please have a look at the glycemic index video for further information. So just questions to think about. How balanced are your meals? Do they contain fiber from vegetables in the sad vegetable portion? Do they contain a lean protein source? And how much starchy carbohydrate is there on your plate? Often keeping a food diary can help you log what you're having and to see any patterns. Thank you for listening.